It's been called a watershed moment for Britain's banking sector. The UK's financial regulator, the FSA, says the LIBOR scandal may force banks to clean up their act. The government in the UK announced an inquiry into banking standards. The Chancellor, George Osborne, said it was time now to fix a broken system. Chris Roebuck is a professor of leadership at Cass Business School and advised several large banks, including UBS and HSBC. Professor joins me now. Professor Roebuck, the scandal, we know the details, we know what happened, but when I read things from the report like, dude, you're killing me, he begged the submitter said he would see what I can do, and then he even says, XYZ will be here if you have any requests for the fixings. What's gone wrong with the moral compass?
I think it's gone seriously wrong. I mean, that sounds like a trashy novel. It's outrageous. What's happened here is that with the deregulation of the banks, we've got to a point where the old days it used to be you make money in an ethical way. The deregulation meant you just make money at any cost.
OK, with respect, you're merely restating the problem. Tell me why it's happened.
It's happened because people have lost the ability to tell the difference between what's right and what's wrong because they decide that making money is more important than being ethical.
But that doesn't happen on an average Tuesday in June or whatever. No. I don't suddenly decide that I'm going to lift money out of your wallet and steal from you. So there's something deeper that those bankers have not been told. Maybe it's your fault and you in the business schools who aren't teaching ethics.
I think what's happening is that actually people know what's the difference between right and wrong, but they tend to bend the rules. And one of the interesting things in organisations is if you haven't got a strong culture and somebody steps over the line into being unethical and everybody else doesn't say to them, hang on, you've gone over the line, come back, what tends to happen is that if they get away with it, everybody else goes over the line.
Business schools churning out people who've got no morals?
Absolutely not, because you should have morals before you even arrive at a business school.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be putting them in the school in the first place.
Absolutely.
Look, the fact is, wherever we look, there is just a cesspit of sewage in the city.
I wouldn't say there's a cesspit of sewage, because let's be fair, there are hundreds and thousands of people in the city who are doing a good job professionally.
This is one of the top banks in the
Absolutely. Yeah, and how many people is it in that bank that are doing this?
And a rogue trader in France and another rogue trader here, and London has
rogue traders.
London, they're OK, are they?
No, they're not OK, but if you, for example, the chief risk officer of a major bank said to me, look, with 100,000 people, we know that somewhere in the world somebody is doing something they shouldn't.
Right, so in that regard, and I'm giving you a hard time here, but you can take it, in that regard, is the best answer to make a firm example of the miscreants.
Absolutely. It needs to be carrot and stick. You need to give... The carrot is, this is what's right, this is what's wrong, and the stick
That's not carrot, that's called morality.
That's morality, the moral compass, Right. And if you go over the line, you're either out of a job or you're in jail. And one of the things that I think needs to happen in this country is you need to say, and in fact, that's not this country, global banks as a whole, chief executives need to make clear what is right and what is wrong, and then the government and regulators need to say, in this country in particular, the financial penalties for both the institutions and individuals will be multiplied by a factor of 10.
And if you take, for example, the bankers' bonuses which have been paid, it's all... I mean, nothing was done wrong in the bankers' bonuses other than they had their noses in the trough. But it's easy to see how it's all part of the same picture, isn't it?
Yeah, the bankers' bonuses. The point is, actually, the chief executives of banks don't care how much money they get. They care what they get in relation to their competitors.
Bob Diamond, does he stay or does he go?
He has to stay, because you can't lose your chairman and chief executive in 48 hours.
So the chairman going has saved his skin?
Well, you can see what happens on Wednesday, maybe not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
Cheers.
Many thanks to you. Many thanks to you.